Okay, we're back to the Battle for Christmas, the book written by Stefan Nissenbaum, Pulitzer Prize finalist, A Cultural History of America's Most Cherished Holiday. It's a history of Christmas in the United States. We're making some progress into the book. We are on page 146, and we'll pick up on that page. Um, and we're still in the Christmas season. We are in between Christmas and New Year's as I'm doing this reading. And I'm going to finish the book, and it might be till the end of February or maybe the end of January before I finish it up. Maybe I can get done by the end of January. We'll see. But if we make it the end of February, that's fine. That's still the winter season. And then we haven't hit Easter yet, so or the Resurrection Day, as I like to call it. So we'll pick up on 147 from where we left off, and I'm in the middle of a section. So if you want to know what was before this, go to the 18th reading. I think this is the 19th reading. Gift books were probably among the most expensive books many Americans had ever purchased. Take the experience of a rather prosperous man, John Davis of Worcester, Massachusetts, a future governor of Massachusetts. He was then serving in the U.S. Congress. On December 26, 1826, Davis wrote to his wife that he had visited a Washington bookstore and bought her a very beautiful gift book. I went into the store to see what was the price of a souvenir, i.e., a gift book, that I might send you a New Year's present. I saw them advertised as very beautiful and found them so as you will judge by the price, $5. This bookstore is one of the best, the most pleasant I've ever saw. The proprietor seems to spare nothing to get the most rich and costly collection of books, prints, maps, and everything else. The shop is not larger, it's not large, but eloquent. I saw many things I wanted to buy, but they cost too much. Davis admitted here that he had been tempted to buy many things that were more expensive than he was used to purchasing. But he did spend $5 on a single book for his wife. By the way, that was a lot of money back then. And he let her know it, which suggests that he was not used to spending so much money on books. It would be unfair to conclude that these books were purchased and given away simply as a display of conspicuous consumption. Christmas gifts had to be, or appeared to be, expressions of personal sentiment designed to signify or enhance intimate personal bonds, bonds between parents and children, husbands and wives, suitors and those who they courted. And that is surely what parents, husbands, and suitors wanted them to be. Such Christmas presents were intended above all to represent any expression of feeling. This meant that they were to be given freely out of affection and not as part of an old-fashioned gift exchange offered in fulfillment of an obligation. The Herald's new arrival, Horace Greeley's New York Tribune, put this point quite clearly in 1846. The season approaches when good wishes take visible, palpable form, becoming active in the shape of gifts. To give and receive the free will offerings of Friendship and affection are among the purest pleasures permitted to this state of being. We really stressed that such free will offerings of friendship and affection had nothing in common with the traditional exchange of gifts of for goodwill. A present given to create a sense of obligation, even to a dependent child or child. Let me go back, do it again. A present given to create a sense of obligation, even to a dependent or child, becomes at the best a charity, humiliating rather than inspiring the receiver. Charity is well in its place, but a gift of affection is quite another matter. That is why it was so important for the gift to stand outside the realm of ordinary day-to-day needs, to be a luxury item, and never what Greeley called a matter of homily, necessity, or mere mercantile utility. In short, it should not so much satisfy a want as express a sentiment, speaking a language which, if unmeaning to the general ear, is yet eloquent to the heart of the receiver. Greeley knew that spouses and lovers often presented such gift books with each other. And an editorial puff in the New York Herald in 1839, describing the splendid volumes of gift books on sale at the local bookshops, suggested that they would make the best possible present for the one beloved object and cherished flower of affection in their lives. The notice concluded pointedly, such presents say, in language not to be mistaken, forget me not. In other words, the presentation of a gift book could be used as part of the courtship process, as a way of deepening a personal relationship or signaling a willingness to do so. That often meant treading, try it again, that often meant treading a delicate line, to be personal and sincere, yet not too intimate. As the preface to one gift book phrased the matter, in the festive season of the year, what kind of feelings flow forth in gifts, tokens, and remembrances? Nothing is more appropriate as a souvenir than a handsome book. It can be given and received without a violation of delicacy. There was a problem here. Whether gift books were used by suitors or by affectionate parents, there was an inherent tension between the message they were intended to convey and the fact that they were actually mass produced and mass marketed commodities. Given the personal weight such gifts were meant to carry, that was hardly appropriate. It was crucial that they be able to conceal the facts of their own production and distribution to disguise their origins, in other words. One reason that gift books made such successful Christmas gifts is that they managed to do that job very well. In the antebellum years, as now, both the jewels and flowers seemed to do the job, too, since they were not only beautiful luxury goods, but also objects that could be represented as the creations of nature. This was another reason so many gift books were named for jewels and flowers. Sometimes the very title of a gift book indicated the sentiment it was meant to carry. Thus, souvenir itself, meaning something to be remembered, but also affection's gift, forget me not, friendship's offering, gift of friendship, keepsake, leaflets of memory, memento, subtitled A Gift of Friendship, keepsake, leaflets of memory, memento. Oh man, my eyes skipped. Let me go back. I'll start here. Sometimes the very title of a gift book indicated it the sentiment it was meant to carry. The souvenir itself, meaning something to be remembered, but also affection's gift, forget me not, friendship's offering, gift of friendship, keepsake, leaflets of memory, mementos, subtitled A Gift of Friendship, remember me, token, and token of friendship. Both the pearl and the rose were subtitled affection's gift. And in that way, associated jewelry and flowers, respectively, with personal feelings, with the world of domestic affections, not the world of commodity production. The publishers of gift books took pains to give their products a personalized look. Of course, any book given as a present could be personalized by means of an inscription on the fly leaf, giving the name of the giver and the recipient and their relationship, and adding the date on which the book was presented. But gift books went further than that. Ironically, the very techniques of mass production were employed to make gift books appear personal and unique, to convey the impression that they were customized, even handmade products. At the frontispiece of each volume, there typically appeared a special introductory page known as a presentation plate, an engraving expressly designed to be written on by the buyer of the book, to personalize it and make the presentation itself an intrinsic part of the book. Some presentation plates contained room for the purchaser not only to fill in his name and the name of the person who was to receive the book, but even to compose a phrase that indicated the the precise degree or quality of affection he wished the present to convey. Thus, the presentation plate in the token for 1833, a gift book that also happened to include three newly published stories by Nathaniel Hawthorne, left an empty line in which the purchaser was to fill in just what the book was a token of. In the copy of this volume, owned by the American Antiquarian Society, a man named Waldo Flint has written that his present to Rebecca Scott, Dean, let's see, where am I? Skip a page. Okay, that's her name. That his present to Rebecca Scott Dean was to be taken as a token of his regard. In other gift books, the nature of the relationship was already embedded in the design of the presentation plate, as it was in an 1837 design showing a picture of a Cupid who has William Tell like just shot an arrow into the heart that sits a perch atop a Piedmont or pediment located to his right. Gift books might be said to represent the commercialization of sincerity as a genre. They flourished for little more than a single generation between 1825 and 1860. Perhaps they held a special appeal for this particular generation. which was the first to be overwhelmed by the world of commodities and thus the only one that needed to disguise commercial transactions when they threatened to intrude on an intimate setting. A generation earlier, one could argue such transactions had not been possible. A generation later, one would be so commonplace that the violation would have seemed virtually invisible. I'm going to leave it off there. I'm not going to go to a full 30 minutes on this one. I have things I have to get done and I'm out of time. This next section is going to be longer. It will take 30 minutes. Bibles as Christmas gifts. We'll get into that one in the next reading. And that's going to take up some room. So, and then we'll continue on, try to get through the chapter in the next reading if we can. That's going to take a lot, but we could possibly do that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're enjoying this history of Christmas in the United States, and I hope you enjoy the book. We'll get through it, and then we'll get on to a different book after that, but that's what this channel is about. We're learning as we go. It's an educational channel, and so I appreciate all of you who are willing to come here and listen to me read a book. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next time here on the C Files. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.